All right, let me prep. All right, so today we're going to talk about a character that actually means quite a lot to me. Not for the reasons you'd expect. He's not my favorite. He isn't even my favorite mutant, but he's a character that I respect for the reasons that I believe in my heart that he is the most logically and consistently developed serialized comic book character there is. More than Bruce Wayne, more than Clark Kent, more than Peter Parker, even Tony Stark. So yeah, today we are going to be talking about Marvel's favorite four-eyed Cyclops.
This is
Scott
fucking
Summers.
fake news!
This is the layman's guide to the multiverse.
Hello and welcome to the Layman's Guide to the Multiverse, where we dive between the panels and break through the fourth wall. All right, this is Matt here today. I am joined here today by...
Hey, I'm Ed.
And
I'm Doug.
last but not least, we got...
I'm dying.
Oh, you're exactly like our subject matter today.
He had the Professor Xavier dying and Logan sound more than anything going on.
My mind!
Guys, just a heads up. I am incredibly ill.
He's pretty much the Incredibles 2 of being sick.
Yes.
Paulo has Mpox.
Yes.
Paulo has the last Tupac album.
No, in all seriousness though, I'm a little under the weather, so we're recording this episode while I have a very strange sounding voice. So if you're wondering who the hell this is Paulo once again with you here today.
Hey, I think you sound sexier than ever.
Thank you.
Look, don't worry, Paulo. If you don't make it to the end of the episode, if Warner Brothers could digitally edit out a mustache, I'm pretty sure we can figure out a way to digitally put you back in this episode.
We'll just cut him sound clips of all the other stuff he's done already.
We are off to a stellar start.
So, Douglas, you have a topic you wish to bring up to us today.
Hold on. Before we even start this topic, I need to be the one to bring this up.
Go for it. I'm all about it.
As Doug mentioned in his intro, this is a very polarizing character where I gotta be honest with you, think he fucking sucks.
Hey, that's fair because the thing is, he's a character that you should love or hate. The problem is too many people just don't give a shit.
I mean, to that point, I mean, let's think about his mainstream appearances. Okay, like
do we have to?
I know. Well, here's the good part. It'll only take 5 minutes.
That's right.
In the cartoon, he was the chump that constantly gets his girl stolen by Wolverine.
Hey.
And he got a convertible
Yeah,
as a gift from Wolverine. Like, guys, come on.
Yeah, he made it
Wolverine
up
might
to
have
him.
stolen, but hey, made him a convertible.
So
It's a pretty sweet trade.
So he's like what, C tier in Marvel vs. Capcom?
No, MVC2. He's right out of S tier. He's like top A.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
is he?
Yeah, he's real good.
He was Justin Wong's anchor character.
Yeah, you've never seen that Never Give Up compilation?
Yeah, where he basically in a big famous match. I think
He's
it was
got like
Grand
a
Finals.
pixel of health left and makes his way back. It's ridiculous.
And he KOs all three of his opponent's characters with Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Every time I watch high level play, I just see it's just nonstop Sentinels. Anyway, so
Rocket Punch.
But then what was it? The movies I've seen all three X-Men movies. He's just kind of, hey, I'm here. Hey, everyone hates me.
Is he even in the third?
Yeah, he is for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then he dies.
And then he dies. Yeah. He dies within 5 friggin' minutes.
I can't see that actor as anybody else but Cyclops now, and it bothers me.
You know,
he's fun.
Yeah, but every time he pops up, I'm like, hey, look, it's Cyclops.
Actually, you know who he would have been great as?
Jimmy Olsen?
Ted Bundy.
Okay.
I'm making a face as I'm like, you might not be wrong. He's
No,
really
no,
good.
no. It's like, it's not that you're wrong. It's just that, like, it's a weird thing to say about somebody. You know who that guy was great at?
Charles Manson.
But
You love Helter Skelter, don't you?
but yeah, but that's kind of he's the quote unquote leader of the X-Men, but like he doesn't seem to be that great of a leader, and just
Ted
everyone
Bundy's
just
the leader of the X-Men.
Oh, jeez. You guys.
We
yeah.
need to let Doug talk. We're
No,
taking this.
I'm enjoying this, so it's all good.
Yeah. But like, yeah, he's kind of like nobody really cares about him. He's never the star of a movie. He never seems to be making any big calls, and he's just kind of the guy that Wolverine says, hey, fudge off.
Yo, he's Wolverine's fucking
Bitch.
pincushion. That's who he is.
Yeah.
He's Wolverine's pincushion.
I'm trying to keep it PG-13, but yeah.
Cyclops is blander than Cheerios.
Well, all right. Let's see if Doug can change our minds. What
I'm
have you
gonna
got, Doug?
honey nut this.
You're gonna banana nut this.
Or alternatively, you can maple Cheerio this because those are new. I don't know if you've had those.
I have. They're tasty.
They're delicious.
They're really good.
I should go get some now.
Cheerios, please sponsor us.
Kellogg's, post, please.
Hey, we're not picky. We'll take the bottom shelf bag cereals. Like,
Listen, Stop and Shop. If you guys want to give us your generic brand,
Ooh,
yeah,
yo.
seriously.
I'm actually all about
sponsored by Frosty Flakes.
God. All right,
Oh
Doug,
man,
go.
shredded wheat flakes, please.
Okay, so he's not going to be interesting right away, but we need to start at the beginning. Okay, so
when mommies and daddies love each other.
well, funny you should say that, because when mommies and daddies love each other, they make children, and when mommies and daddies love children, they throw them out of planes.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So that is the origin of Cyclops.
Their mom and dad had sex and then they threw him out of a fucking plane?
Well, in their defense, the plane was crashing and they only had one parachute. So they threw him.
They tossed him out of the plane and then used the parachute themselves to get the safety.
Even his parents didn't want him.
Dun, 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 dun,
We gotta
dun,
drop
dun.
weight.
Drop the baby first.
No, but they give the one parachute to Scott and his brother Alex, who is Havoc.
Oh, I do remember this. Okay.
And but it's also two people, one parachute, so they land roughly. Cyclops hits his head, and for a long time in the Marvel Universe, that is explained why Cyclops cannot turn his power off. He didn't have his powers at the time, but when they developed him, they
kind of jolted whatever, yeah?
Yeah, it basically, the head injury preemptively, it gave him a brain injury that would not allow him to turn his powers off.
Wait,
so
the
when they
brain,
developed
the brain injury preemptively gave him a problem?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, before the mutant powers developed, the brain injury is still there, and the brain injury is what they use to explain why he couldn't turn his powers off when they developed.
Hollow. I don't know.
Weak
I don't know.
sauce.
I don't know if you know this, but walking is just preemptively breaking your leg.
So living is preemptively dying.
Yeah,
so
we're getting real
technically
existential, man.
Being alive is a ripoff to Marvel Zombies.
Oh no!
Oh no! No more Marvel Zombies. Doug, get back to your point. Go.
Okay, so in Marvel Zombies,
Jesus Christ.
no, okay, so Scott's parents, as he believes, die in a plane crash.
As they do.
Yes, him and his brother are split up and are in orphanages.
Goddamn orphanages breaking up perfectly good families.
It's horrible.
Brain injuries.
Yeah, jamming the on button on.
So Scott's not had a great life.
Or the best.
Because, so he's in an orphanage. He's lost his parents. He doesn't have his brother. And then one day he opens his eyes and obliterates everything he sees.
Yes.
Forever.
That's so
Yes.
awesome.
That is amazing. Wait. Hold on. I believe this is a point of contention amongst some Marvel people. Isn't his power technically like a concussive blast, not
Yes, it
an
is.
obliterative blast?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, concussion can obliterate things. But it's not a laser or heat, though. No.
Okay, so what is getting shot out of his eyes?
Okay, so originally, it's always been concussive blasts, unless the writer didn't do the research. But originally he absorbed solar energy and then projected the optic blasts out of his eyes. But they
he's got Superman laser vision.
Well, it's not a laser; it's Superman punch vision. But they also then later retconned that to explain why there's no recoil.
So it's like a grenade being shot out of his eyes.
Wait.
It's more like a fire hose.
You said that it's a
Okay.
concussive force, right?
Yes.
And it's on forever because he got a concussion when he was 8. It all makes sense.
Oh my god, that all you just made more sense than every Marvel writer has in the past.
Cyclops is the shit now. he uses his eventual CTE as a mutant power.
Dude, if he played in the NFL, he'd be unstoppable.
I was just gonna say that.
So they did retcon how his powers worked eventually into an even more weird idea. And I don't know why they did it. I think they did it to try and explain why there was no recoil.
Isn't his powers now with like, I don't know, a gateway to another dimension or something?
No, that is exactly it.
Wait, what? Stupid.
Yeah, his eyes open an aperture in the lens to a universe full of energy, and it just exits his eyes.
What?
I want some of what they're smoking.
Yeah, I didn't say it was a good retcon.
Say that one more time, please, so I can fully understand what came out of your mouth.
His eyes open a dimensional aperture to another dimension full of concussive energy.
So what you're telling me is that he's got Rick and Morty vision.
Yeah, he's got the concussion force.
See, now if they would have wrote it that way, I'd have been all in. I've been all about Cyclops.
Damn it, Doug.
Why could he do that? I don't know. He was concussed when he was 8. Like,
dude, Doug, you're not even 10 minutes in. You've already got us sold on this.
All right, turning it around.
Score 1 for the Psych Man.
Okay, but can I ask a question? I'm just I'm thinking back to the movies. I'm thinking back to the video games and the cartoon. They always seem to portray it as a laser.
Well, it is energy, and even in the cartoons, it would knock people back. It was concussive force even in the cartoons.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
So like that is one of the biggest misconceptions like laymen's have about Cyclops is that they think he fires like heat visions or like burning lasers. No, he basically fires punches from his eyeballs.
Yo, he's like the Hal Jordan.
Laser punch.
Laser punch. All he needs is to be able to will it into a freaking punch, into a fist. Wait. Does that mean Hal is more interesting because at least he has to think about it? Yes.
Yes.
He's gonna think about punching you. Cyclops just opens his eyes.
Yeah. Although that is one of my favorite arguments about why Cyclops should win a fight against Wolverine because it's like
laser punches.
Well, because it's like, oh, do I see you? I win. It's instantaneous like impact from what he's looking at.
Yeah. I guess. It's just he's so
anyway,
boring.
That's not really relevant.
He's so boring. Nobody wants him to be Wolverine.
Even Jean Grey goes back from the dead for like the 12th time. She pulls out her stamp card. They're like, you get one free. And she's like, Scott, could you not? Could you just let this tiny furry Canadian just gut you? Please.
But Jean. Okay.
Jean. But continue, please.
All right, so he is the first mutant recruited by Charles Xavier to be an X-Man for his, or even just the first student to be recruited for his school for gifted, youth or gifted children.
Is there a reason why?
Well, narrative.
Yo, because he's a sad, lonely child, so it makes sense that he's going to recruit a sad, lonely child.
I just thought he had really nice hair.
Yeah, something that I would like to point out also is that. No, Charles Xavier did not.
I meant Scott Summers, you dick.
I know. Okay, so this is a child who lost his parents, literally can't open his eyes for fear of killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he is recruited by a racial ideologue who indoctrinates him in an almost military fashion to serve his agenda.
Okay, you just described Dick Grayson.
I did.
Holy shit, you did!
Again, making Cyclops more interesting.
Or alternatively, not because his name is Scott.
Or ruining Nightwing.
Because his name is Scott and not Dick Grayson.
Oh, guys, Wolverine stole his girl, and Scotty doesn't know. I'm sorry, keep going.
Oh god.
No, so so he's the first, but they recruit the original team of X-Men, and that's not really relevant for a while. I mean, they're the X-Men; they do their thing.
I mean, they sold like gangbusters. They're relevant.
No, they're relevant, but I mean, it's not really relevant to Scott's personal development, other than in the original series, his growing affection for Jean and the little love triangle that they almost had with Angel and Jean, because Angel was into Jean too. But Jean
what? That was an attempted thing at one point.
You're not going to talk about the other weird love triangle between Scott, Jean, and Professor Xavier?
No, we're going to get to that.
My God, that is a thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Dr. Niles Calder's a creep. So Marvel was like, "Hold my beer. We're gonna make our copy creepier, balder, and stickier."
I don't know why he's sticky, but I like it.
Have you seen him? Have you seen like the original character design for Xavier? He's gross.
He did have really weird eyebrows.
Looks like he's covered in fly paper.
He's always had really weird eyebrows. I'm sorry. Continue. Yes.
Yeah. No. So that's why I'm glossing over the original run, because of. Like, there's really nothing important to his character development other than his growing relationship with Jean.
Excuse you, Bobby Drake looked like a snowman. That's important to everybody.
Also, Bobby Drake is now gay.
Was important.
Is he?
Which, oh, please, I actually have mixed feelings about that, and I want to get into that another time. But
well, that is he was actually a question of like, is he? Like, I don't know, because I thought that was retcon too. Like, he is, but he's not. But the past version, like the new past version of him is, but maybe not.
Well, we'll get into that
the new
because
past
that's actually
definitely is, but yeah.
Cool. Keep going.
Go ahead. Tell us more about Scott.
All right. So the next big thing is Giant Size X-Men #1, where which is
I know that's what it's called, but keep going.
No, that's the introduction of the new team, and the reason they needed a new team was the old team was trapped by Krakoa, the living island.
Yeah.
This is the past. Just let it go, people. But yeah, Cyclops was the only one who escaped. So him and Xavier form a new team to go rescue the old team. And then they rescue the old team, and they're like, "Oh, you got a new team? Well, I guess we quit."
Oh man, don't they become X Factor?
They do. Do you want to talk about who's on the new team?
Yes, that would be the some of the most popular mutants to this day. Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, Wolverine.
Yep.
Who before then had never been a mutant, but they decided to make him one because he was because he was originally just written as like a one-off foe for the Hulk.
He was like a little cat man.
He was.
He had adorable whiskers on his mask.
So he was like a Wolverine. Guys, come on.
He had adorable whiskers.
He did that. That's the point we were getting at. Adorable whiskers.
I still love the fact that Hugh Jackman thought when he got the part as Wolverine, he thought he was literally going to play a Wolverine.
I'm sorry, what now?
Oh, you never heard about that? Yeah, Hugh Jackman. When he got
jacked man.
Yeah, he wasn't familiar with the comic book character Wolverine because he got like cast at the last minute. So like he was like, oh, so like
that's
I'm
right.
a wolf
Someone else
person.
was supposed to be playing him.
Yeah,
there's test footage of that too.
Yeah, so like he was like acting like he was like some sort of like cat thing, and the guy's like, "What the frick are you doing?" And he's like, "What? I'm a Wolverine." He goes, "No, the comic book character, you singing fabulous Australian you."
Oh, that's actually grand. I need to look that up later. No, originally Scott stays behind when the others quit. The others quit to basically just try and live lives, and Scott is like, "Where am I going to go? I can't look at anything without it dying." So he stays and leads the new X-Men. Now, they do eventually split off to form X-Factor, which we'll talk about in a second, but that happens after the Phoenix Saga. And the Phoenix Saga is the first really major event of Scott's life that wasn't part of his origin. a lot happened in that storyline, and we can't talk about all of it if we're going to focus on Scott. But basically, his girlfriend becomes, what do they call it? A crazy cosmic death god.
We should mention his girlfriend is Jean Grey.
I thought we had, but if we hadn't, yeah.
She's constantly getting stolen, so I mean, you kind of got to reiterate that.
Jean!
Oh, she's dead again.
You said it too loud. No, but so this is the first time that Jean dies, even though she technically doesn't, but we'll get to that in a second. But so during the Phoenix Saga, they go into space because Phoenix stuff, and this is where they introduce the fact that Cyclops' dad didn't die. Him and his wife were like abducted by aliens from the plane crash.
Yeah,
and his mom is dead, but his dad is now a space pirate.
Yo, his dad is Corsair.
Yep.
Isn't he one of like the Starjammers or something?
Yes, the Starjammer.
The
like
leader of the Starjammers. Respect him.
He's got a sweet bomber jacket too.
He got a sweet bomber jacket and an amazing mustache.
Yeah. What? I'm Googling this.
Corsair, Starjammers.
Yeah, it's actually pretty great.
I'm afraid what's going to come up with the word Starjammers. Oh my! You know what he looks like? He looks like Ben Stiller's character in Dodgeball.
Oh,
he looks like an intergalactic Globo Gym.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's picture me grabbing the bull by the horns.
Yeah,
it's a metaphor. Really happened though.
Here's laser, blazer, and laser.
That movie's fantastic. Continue before we get off.
He gets slapped by Gladiator, and he's like, "Nobody makes me bleed my own blood."
Man. Okay. So, Phoenix Saga ends. Jean, quote unquote, dies, and Scott grieves. He actually doesn't find out his dad is Corsair until later because Jean hid that from him. For whatever reason.
Wait, why does Jean find this out before fucking Scott does?
Because she's a telepath.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me that's a thing. I forgot.
That's the entire thing.
Man, she must have been useless for the rest of that comic book. It probably took her all of 30 seconds using telepathy, and she passed out.
Oh, it's terrible. Continue. I'm sorry.
So then the next major event of his life is on the rebound, missing his dead wife, or no, sorry, they weren't married, his dead girlfriend. He meets a woman who strangely looks exactly like her.
No red flags coming off there.
Right.
No, none.
And he falls in love with her. Yeah. So this is the introduction of Madeline Pryor. And they get married and have a son who later turns out to be Cable. And then they find out that Jean has not really been dead. In fact, she wasn't even in space being the Phoenix. The Phoenix just used her form and then buried her in a cocoon beneath the river or lake or something. And they just find out, oh yeah, she's just been in this cocoon coma.
Sure.
Comic books.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, sure. No, she was in a healing coma. It's fine.
Yeah. So Jean comes back and Scott pulls his first scumbag move, which is being a deadbeat dad and husband.
I like it.
He leaves his wife and son to get back with Jean. And that's when they form X Factor.
Dude, you are not painting him in too good of a light so
No,
far.
I didn't claim he's a good person.
Are you kidding me? His father's the freaking owner of Globo Gym. He's awesome.
Intergalactic Globo Gym.
Yeah.
Not even regular Globo Gym.
No, I'm actually going to explain later at the end basically the emotional path that I believe and psychological path that Cyclops took as a character, because I think all of his choices make sense when you look at the totality of the character. But continuing on from now, so him and the original 4 X-Men form X Factor, which is a group of government-hired mutants who are supposedly supposed to be hunting down other mutants, but they're trying to subvert the system and help other mutants while working for the government.
No, what a bunch of nice guys.
Yeah. So, then his ex-wife gets corrupted by demons.
Okay, as one does.
Hey, thank you. And
sure
becomes the Goblin Queen.
Wait.
What, does she marry David Bowie?
I would watch the shit out of that movie.
Right?
I mean, she wears a very skimpy outfit, so yeah, okay. She marries David Bowie.
I mean, have you seen his bulge? Like, who wouldn't?
That's fair. I'd do it, and he's a corpse.
I heard there's a religion around that bulge.
Sure. Okay. Did not know that, but that's fine.
I heard it. I heard it from somewhere, and I'm afraid to Google it.
I don't want to.
No, I don't want to either.
Yeah, let's leave that alone. Let's leave that in limbo where all the demons came from.
And Madeline Pryor.
Yes. That leads to the Inferno Saga. And at that point, she kind of has a moment of redemption where she uncorrupts herself and then she kills herself out of despair.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So not really happy ending for her.
I hope what's his name realized that this is all his fault.
He does. And he's pretty pissed. And
He's pissed.
Why is he pissed?
I can't believe this is my fault. I'm lashing out in anger.
Well, no, because what I was going to get at was he finds out that Madeline Pryor was a clone of Jean Grey, created by Mr. Sinister.
No.
That is so sinister.
Yeah. Who would have thought that guy would have done something like that?
Yeah, but also, who would have thought that woman who looked exactly like Jean Grey
Could have
to the
been a
last
clone.
detail?
Wait. You mean to tell me that Marvel Comics is using clones as a device for their? I don't believe you.
I don't believe.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Yeah, it was before its time.
I could imagine. Kidding me? Such a lowbrow thing. I bet you they would never use something like clones for any of their more mainstream characters like Spider-Man.
Never. How dare they?
I know.
Yeah, as far as I remember, they never did with Spider-Man because I have blocked all memories to the contrary out. Cyclops goes on a little tear and he thinks actually kills Sinister. He doesn't, but he thinks he does. And this leads to the next phase of his life where, without the burden of having that, ex alive, he gets romantically involved with Jean again, and they marry.
How exciting!
Oh, ow.
Thank you.
Optic Brast.
Oh God, you made an X pun. Oh damn it, I'm slow.
I'm so happy you made that X pun. That's fine. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so in 92 or 93, he marries Jean Grey, if I'm not mistaken. And,
was that a big thing?
Yeah.
Like, did Marvel make a big, like...
Dude, there was like one of the... I forget if it was...
It was a cover.
Yeah, I was going to say, there was like a giant cover drawn by Jim Lee.
No, I remember this because I bought a book version of that comic from a Scholastic book fair.
Ooh.
Nice.
I think I still have it. I'll look for it later.
Is the cover still drawn by Jim Lee?
Let me check because I can remember pretty clear. Because you see Scott in the tux with the Cyclops glasses on. Yeah, Jim Lee.
Oh, can we have to discuss? So, what are those glasses made out of?
They're made out of ruby quartz.
Oh, yes. Beat me to it. But yeah, apparently for plot reasons, ruby quartz is the one material on Earth that can just diffuse into his optic blast. Like, it just doesn't work on ruby quartz. Well, the other object in reality that stops his optic blast is his brother. But
also, because we didn't touch on it with Sinister. I don't remember if it's true for the comics, but it is at least for the cartoon that the only thing that can hurt Mr. Sinister, or at least stop his regenerating, is Scott Summers' optic blast.
Funny story. I actually don't know if that's true in the comics because I do not remember the last time I saw Mr. Sinister actually fight and not just plot.
I like that character. He's a lot of fun.
No, he is. He's a lot like a much better version of the Jackal from Spider-Man.
I thought you were going to say a much better Dr. Doom, and I was about to be like, how dare you?
Come on, he was Mrs. Sinister at one point, too.
Was he?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. Or she was. I don't want to get into gender
politics. Why did that happen?
Listen, man, he doesn't. He just does what he wants, man.
Yeah, he can shapeshift if he wants to be a woman. Who are we to judge? Oh, listen, wait, the readers.
That's fine. Let the man live his life. Let whatever he is live its life. As he so choose, as they so choose.
There you go. Get your pronouns right, Paulo.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
Anyway,
it's all good. Okay.
Moving on.
Okay, so
before I die,
we are moving on. The next big point in Cyclops' development is a storyline called the 12. Basically, Apocalypse's assistant Ozymandias, which not the one from the Watchmen, obviously, is basically tasked with collecting 12 specific powerful mutants to fuel the rebirth of Apocalypse. Many of which are the X-Men. And it turns out that once they collected them, the host body for Apocalypse's rebirth was Cyclops. So Apocalypse basically took over his body for a while. And Cyclops' consciousness was in there, suppressed, but he had to basically share a brain with Apocalypse for a while.
So he was backseat driving for a little bit, yeah?
He was what? Sorry?
He was backseat driving for a little bit?
He was just backseat watching.
Oh. See, I have this image in my head that, like, Apocalypse is like, you know, he needs something done, so he just has his secretary, like, go out and get the mutants for him, like, go, Susan, I am the Apocalypse. Like,
No. Apocalypse had all of his powers and everything. Like, he took his own form again, but he just used Scott's body to do it.
Wait, so he just used the physical mass of Scott Summers and was like, I don't even need your mutant powers. I just need your body. Like, I just need the fact that you are a mass of flesh that I can turn into my own body.
So why wouldn't have you gotten anyone else?
Somebody else, exactly.
I think there's a reason it needed to be Scott Summers. I don't know what it was anymore.
But the point is,
plot. It is, but just plot.
Well, isn't Mr. Sinister's whole thing that he wants to get, like, all the summer genes because they're, like, special or something?
Well, that's actually why he created Madeline Pryor, because he realized that the combination
needed that summer juice.
Wait a second. I think I know why he picked Cyclops. Probably because this was during a time where all the other comic book characters being drawn by Rob Liefeld.
Actually, no. This is before that.
None of them had feet. Scott Summers was the only one with feet.
How am I supposed to create the perfect being if it doesn't have feet? No.
Wait. Hold on. So if Mr. Sinister's trying to get like Scott Summers like genes or DNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I should say like the Summers DNA.
Yeah, but it's not just the Summers. It's got to be the Summers and Jean Grey's DNA.
Is Madeline Pryor just a walking sperm bank?
Yes, actually, I believe she's even referred. He literally refers to her as a broodmare.
That is gross.
Yeah.
Yo, Sinister is a fucking terrible person.
Sinister is his name.
He is so sinister.
But yeah, so that's why I created Madeline Pryor, because everybody thought Jean Grey was dead, and he's like, well, that's going to put a damper in my plans.
I'm going to coin the phrase Summers juice right now. It's important.
That's gross.
That's the point.
Summers juice trademark, Layman's Guide to Multiverse LLC. 2019.
I'm pretty sure Summers juice was a flavor of Capri Sun in the 90s.
No. Oh, you just ruined all good memories of Capri Sun.
I don't know what's worse, that or just regular Sunny D.
Oh no,
God!
You guys remember Tang? It was a kick in a glass.
God damn it!
No! Stop it! Scott Summers, summer juice. Let's go.
Jesus.
Okay, so they eventually stop Apocalypse, and Scott gets his mind back. But the thing is
wait, is he still Apocalypse though?
No. They basically get Apocalypse out of there.
How do they do that? Do they like hire a guy? They call like Viking extermination, like
those wax candles that you stick in your ear and you light on fire to create a vacuum. They just did it and just there you go. Apocalypse gone.
Apocalypse be gone.
Did they like? What, they like superheat the inside of his body? What is Apocalypse just a bunch of bed bugs? Like, I got questions, guys.
They're not bad questions. Jean and Cable are what basically separate Apocalypse's spirit from his body, and so he regains his normal form and abilities and memories.
So, in other words, a wizard did it.
Yeah, Jean and Cable, wizards. But the thing is, do you know what's pretty traumatizing? sharing your mind with a 2,000-year-old evil mutant.
Well, I wouldn't know because I've never shared my body with a 2,000-year-old evil mutant. Just saying, you know.
I've only done it with a 500-year-old evil mutant, so I mean, I can't relate.
Doesn't sound like it's too bad.
I'm not sure though, so I should probably check my privilege. I'm sorry.
Right. But this is actually a big deal for Scott because Scott's never quite.
Sense.
He's never quite the same after that.
What changed?
Him into Apocalypse.
I mean, yes, we understood this part, but like, what exactly? Like, what is different about him from old Cyclops, from old Condom Head?
Oh Jesus!
He does wear a body condom.
I never thought of it that way. Well, it's just he's no longer so sure of his convictions. He had all of Apocalypse's emotions and memories, and just it scarred him, and he became kind of withdrawn from himself and from his wife. And he still did his job, leading the X-Men and whatnot, but
His heart wasn't in it.
It wasn't because he couldn't trust himself so much. Like he was suffering from huge post-traumatic stress. Again, basically, absorbed by an ancient god in a way. And he just drifts from his relationship with Jean. And this is what leads into Grant Morrison's run with New X-Men.
Oh, everybody's got sweet jackets.
Yeah.
That is a thing that Grant Morrison brought to that.
Yeah.
Sweet jackets.
Weren't the movie costumes based on Morrison's jackets?
No, other way around.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah.
right. No, you're right. I'm sorry. I do remember that now. But this is what leads to the splitting up of Jean and Cyclops, because Cyclops then has a psychic affair with Emma Frost, the former villain known as the White Queen.
Ooh, wait, a psychic affair? How does that
that's
work?
actually why I'm groaning, because they don't physically do anything. Emma Frost is also a telepath.
Yeah, because I mean, Emma Frost, her whole shtick is that like she's like some sort of super telepath. She can like make you experience things that aren't really being experienced. I know I'm probably glossing over a lot of it, but she's powerful as fuck.
Yeah, she's one of the world's most powerful telepaths.
Also,
like, not as powerful as
bling.
Jean or Xavier, but yeah,
She is bling.
That's when they introduced the concept of secondary mutations, which I was never behind.
I mean, I can explain why she got one, and then why they. I'll get there in a second. Go
Because
finish
telepaths
your
are
point.
boring. They're a dime a dozen.
Literally, they're a diamond a dozen. I'll just explain it now.
You go for it.
Well, Grant Morrison wanted Colossus on his X-Men team for the new X-Men comic.
Mhm.
They were like, no, he's already doing something else, but like we'll give you we'll give you another mutant. He's like, fine.
Wait, this was after Colossus had died and come back, right?
No, or maybe Colossus was dead then at this point.
He was dead.
Yeah, he was dead.
Welcome
He was
back
dead
until
from
Mutants
the,
Run.
from the what's it called?
Yeah, so Grant Morrison wanted Colossus on his team, couldn't have him, so he's like, I'm just gonna have Emma Frost. And she's got a second mutation. She's now has a diamond body. So anything I was going to do with Colossus, I'm slotting her in that slot.
I actually did not know that was the reason, so thank you for that, Ed.
Yeah, that's literally the only reason secondary mutations exist, was because a writer wanted another character and couldn't have him.
I love how Grant Morrison can do that. Grant Morrison is one of the few writers who could just say, you know what?
I'm doing this.
We'll just do this. And what is anybody going to say about it?
Nothing. I'm crazy and Scottish. Have you seen how bald I am? I went to Kathmandu and did a ton of drugs. Look at me.
Okay.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Anyway, going on. So, yeah, they have the psychic affair, Matt, which basically it takes place inside their heads because he is feeling distant from his wife and it's not going well.
Sounds like a mind fuck.
Ooh.
Never more appropriate.
Hey-o.
I actually think that in a second is going to be a good time to take our break, because what happens next in Scott Summers' life is the most important and defining event of his entire character development.
What, he has VR sex with Emma Frost?
No, what happens after, which is M-Day. But I want to save M-Day for after the break.
All right, folks, we'll be back.
Start a break.
I'm about to commit suicide. Ah!
Ah!
No. That was Morph. That was Morph. Right?
All right, and we're back.
Oh. How's everything?
Did everybody enjoy their summer's juice?
Ooh, I had me some summer juice flavored Capri Sun. I had an X-Men the Animated Series Pizza Hut personal pan pizza.
Fuck, you're making me hungry.
I know, I'm kind of hungry right now too. It sucks.
I threw on an episode of The Secret World of Alex Mack. I was the 90s all over again.
Alex Mack was Capri Sun.
Yeah.
That's really gross, but yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, she turns into a container of Capri Sun. Those are her powers. Yeah.
And then she gained super strength by eating rice.
Yeah.
There are worse powers to have, though, than being Capri Sun.
There are worse powers to have than getting super strength from eating rice. That sounds awesome.
You know, like being able to punch people with your eyes.
No, that sounds shitty.
Well,
I want super strength. I want super strength rice, and to be a Capri Sun. The ability to punch people with your eyes is like only a little bit better than the power to melt. Like, or like arms fall off, lad. That's a real thing.
Did you say arms fall off, lad?
That's a real superhero.
How about the Condiment King?
Ooh,
I love that show. Yeah, it is a bad guy. He's super bad.
He's so
he
bad.
relishes crime.
I hate you.
Oh, join the list.
What's wrong, Batman? He couldn't cut the mustard.
All right, so before this turns into a Condiment King episode, which we should do.
I'm all for it.
So we left off with Cyclops and Jean drifting apart, having an affair with Emma Frost. Jean, at this point, starts to redevelop her Phoenix powers.
How does that
work? The Phoenix Force just basically really likes her as a host.
Do we want to very quickly explain what the Phoenix Force is? Because I think we have to touch on that in a little bit.
Yeah, we will, actually. So, okay, the Phoenix Force is a cosmic entity, like up there with Galactus in power scale. That is basically the avatar of death and rebirth.
Oh, but she's afraid of Stretch Armstrong. Got it.
What?
Galactus is afraid of Reed Richards. Stretch Armstrong.
Oh, sorry. Went over my head. My bad. I'm not as smart as Reed Richards. Anyway, so yeah, it is a wild and untamed force that possesses people and brings out and basically kind of feeds on their emotions to the point where it makes them super passionate, super destructive, and basically it's a bad time for people who are Phoenix. It's a worse time for people around the people who are Phoenix. But so at this point, Jean is starting to redevelop the Phoenix powers granted by the Phoenix Force itself, and that makes the tension between them, even stronger. And then Jean does what she does. She died again. That reaction.
That's perfect. That's exactly what she does.
Yeah. she just dies again. She just punches the card. She gets a free bubble tea.
But yeah, so this basically leaves Scott to pursue a full-time actual relationship with Emma Frost.
I thought you were going to say a full-time job.
Well, he does get a full-time job. He becomes the co-headmaster of the Xavier Institute.
I thought you were going to say a gas station attendant.
Well, same thing, really. I don't know how, but I'm just... Anyway. So yeah, him and Emma are a couple, and they are the co-headmasters of the Xavier Institute, and this goes on until the biggest event of Cyclops' life, which is M Day. I will explain, yes, because I feel like there are questions coming. Okay, so there was a storyline called House of M, and the storyline is basically the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, you're sick, man. It's okay.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I just have a lot of phlegm.
I mean,
Stop dying.
That'll work.
Yeah,
That's the
Gene,
best
cut it
medicine.
out. Yeah, sorry. He's hacking up along. He's just trying to get rid of the Phoenix Force.
Not wrong.
So Wanda Maximoff is a mutant, daughter of Magneto.
She's a mutant daughter. Well, yeah, not
Well,
for
I mean-
nothing. Yeah, he does have another mutant daughter. So I guess she technically is a mutant daughter because
Yeah.
Polaris exists.
Exactly.
All right, I'll shut up. Keep going.
She has probability and reality altering powers.
Or
Chaos magic.
Yeah, and she actually does know actual magic, so she's a mutant who basically has powers and knows magic. But anyway,
What?
yeah, she learned magic at some
What?
point. Yeah.
It's not fair. Can't have two sets of powers. Like, that's like eating peanut butter and jelly and then throwing like fluff and Nutella on that bitch.
I guess her secondary mutation was learning.
Damn it, Grant Morrison. Why did you give her books?
But so she is a little crazy at this point. Like she lost her kids and she dismantled the Avengers in a very literal way.
Yeah, wasn't this at like the tail end of the Avengers Disassembled storyline?
Yes, it was. And so this leads into like, again, she's crazy and she realizes that mutants, like including herself, cause too many problems, and she utters the words, "No more mutants."
I was hoping you were going to say Shakira.
She probably said that later. But yeah, so when she says this, she recreates the world into. Actually, I'm sorry. She says that after House of M, but she recreates the world when she's crazy into this mutant paradise, basically trying to kind of fulfill her father's wish. And in this world, mutants are the majority, humans are the minority, and are kind of discriminated against. But it's not like Age of Apocalypse level, like genocide or anything. They're just kind of a subclass. But in this reality, basically all the heroes and mutants get the life that they most wanted to live. We actually talked about this in our Spider-Man episode. But at the end, she realizes what she's done and how she has kind of royally effed up. And that's when she, utters the words, "No more mutants."
Wait. Before you continue, what did Scott get during that? I forget.
Wasn't he like mutant president or something?
No, that
Magneto
was
was
Magneto.
mutant king, sir.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, excuse me.
But what did Scott get? I don't remember what Scott's...
Yeah, what did he get?
No, Scott wasn't even important enough to be part of like one of the biggest mutant storylines ever.
Got a big old Boston cream cheesecake.
Yeah,
That's his best life.
I'm honestly not going to lie. I forget, and I'm sorry, fans, but
Eating cheesecake.
I do not remember what happened with him in House of M. He might. I don't remember the X-Men having much of a role because
Wolverine did.
Spider-Man did.
Well,
Wolverine's the reason House of M ended because he remembered.
Remember me.
He remembered the fact that he was all of a sudden like could remember everything. He could remember all of his fucked up mental mind block things that he had. So what you're saying is that Wolverine had a more important role.
Oh yeah,
in that than Cyclops did.
What?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Cyclops. Continue.
Actually, I'm sorry. I'm looking this up now because I'm curious. Him and Emma Frost are married in that world, and I think they're just living lives. Okay, so
I did not realize that Scott Summers is 6'3" and 195 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
How does that work?
He is a shrimp.
No, he's not.
At 6'3"?
You just want him to be a shrimp, Paulo. He's actually like a tall and statuesque man.
6'3", 195.
Only you would describe
That's...
Summers Juice as tall and statuesque.
Wait, Summer's Juice is actually the name for him now?
I was going to just say that Summer's Juice is a delicacy in Dougland.
Oh, it's good.
Oh my word!
It's beautiful. I love it.
Terrible.
Okay, so
Yeah,
no more mutants.
Yeah, no. But to compound what you're saying, they're just living their best lives. The two fell in love, married a few years later, and moved to Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah, that's boring. He's a commercial pilot. He's a commercial pilot.
Which is great because that's what the
he's
actor...
boring as fuck. His best life is Hal Jordan without the Green Lantern ring. That's his wish. His wish is to be not even what's inside the box. He wants to be the box of Cheerios. He doesn't even want to be the bee. Like he doesn't even want to be the Honey Nut Cheerios.
God, he's happy with cardboard.
Jesus Christ! Fuck this guy. Keep going. No wonder Wolverine made him a convertible. That's like the best moment of his life. Still Cyclops that made him a convertible. Gee, thanks, Logan. What a floppy dick.
All right, continue with M Day. It's important.
I'm trying.
Cyclops is a walking purple dildo.
Hey, he's blue. That's my only argument.
Blue and red. Let's be honest here.
Okay, fair enough.
Get it right.
All right, so no more mutants, which is what Wanda says, and that leads to what they call M Day, which is where 99.9% of mutants around the world just suddenly lose their powers.
Was it 99.9%? I feel like that's a different number. I feel it was close to like 97.
I don't remember.
There were over 2 million mutants in the world at this point, and they were then cut down to under 300.
Okay, so 99.7.
Way to go, Paula.
I'm sick. Leave me alone.
No, it's cool.
Paula's not sick. He's just got the Phoenix Force.
I do find it funny though that they called the ensuing storyline after that the 198. Because the thing is they were trying to say there's only 198 mutants left, but even in that story they say, oh, there's actually like almost 300. Like, why call the story the 198? Like,
thanks, Marvel.
Yeah, Scott's race, which he has been, fighting for his entire life, trying to preserve their image and ensure their survival, is now closer to extinction than it has ever been. Xavier is missing, and the world sees this as an opportunity to, finally be rid of the mutant menace once and for all. So,
damn those pesky mutants.
We would have got away with it too if it wasn't for all the mutants and your bald friend. Gee!
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Scott basically takes it upon his shoulders to be the savior of his race.
He's mutant Jesus.
He is.
Well, he thinks so.
Well, no, this is a role that he only took up because he had to, and he was the only one who could do it.
No. I was going to say that Cable is mutant Jesus.
Oh, that's
because he literally goes by Jesus Cable at one point.
Mon ami.
Well, keep going. I'm sorry.
So he basically invites all the mutants in the world to basically
over for a barbecue.
Actually, to avoid a barbecue of themselves.
Oh, that was close.
Close enough. So basically, he offers all mutant sanctuary. He basically wants to get them all together to, defend themselves. And so even the villains, join up because they're like, yeah, we should, probably not get, genocided.
You always want to avoid genocide. It's the pro tip. Avoid genocide at all costs.
So
yeah, I feel like that's fair.
So something that I've actually failed to mention is Scott. One of his primary attributes is that he is a brilliant tactician. Captain America's even said that, besides himself, and Captain America's got literally a super soldier enhanced brain to give him special tactician abilities. That Scott Summers is one of the best tacticians he's ever seen. And Cyclops rallies the remainder of the mutant race under one banner. Even Magneto joins him and then serves under him. Magneto even says to Scott that you've achieved the one thing that neither Charles or I ever could. You've united the entire mutant race under one banner.
Yeah, because there's there's like 12 of them.
It's extenuating circumstances.
He sent out a bunch of Facebook invites. Was like, come to my party. Yes, no, maybe. Like,
it's like he sent out the invite to the party, and it's the only party in the world.
I mean, I guess I'll go. It's either that or get genocided. Like,
and like as we've discussed, you want to avoid genocide at all costs. not to
rain on your parade.
The terribleness of genocide, but you always want to avoid it. Anyway, so he unites all the mutants under one banner.
Yeah, Cyclops has got mojitos.
Isn't this the beginning? Is this the beginning of the Schism storyline?
It leads to the Schism storyline eventually, because the thing is to preserve the mutant race. Scott gets very pragmatic.
It's a good word.
He loses a lot of his idealism in favor of surviving.
As one does.
Yeah, he takes steps that he never has before and probably would have never even considered. For instance, he secretly doesn't even tell the other X-Men. He forms basically
an assassination squad. Yo, probably the best decision he ever made was fucking forming X-Force.
No, I agree completely.
Also, fantastic book.
Yeah,
Rick Remender's run on X-Force was one of the best stories I have ever read.
I just think everybody gets really baller costumes.
That is
also true.
Yeah,
dude, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that is Wolverine, Deadpool, Psylocke, Phantom X, and Archangel. Not Angel, but Archangel.
Archangel's costume is so baller.
Oh my god, so cool. Also, some of the best character moments for Deadpool as well. Like not even his stupid self, but his showing his moral sense. Yeah, no, oh my god, that's such a great book. But yes,
no, it really is
one of Scott Summers' best decisions.
It's just a bummer that run falls off a cliff somewhere. Like Remender's only on it for a little bit. Yeah.
No, Remender finishes it.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he finishes it. I read the whole thing. It is fantastic all the way through. At least I think so.
Anyway, so yeah, he forms X-Force, which is literally a mutant hit squad. Instead of waiting to be attacked, he secretly dispatches some of the X-Men to assassinate threats to mutant kind.
He unleashes the tiny furball murderer.
He really
to kill all of his enemies before they kill him first.
Yeah.
I hate that that's true, but it really is exactly what happened, and it works.
Yeah,
it does work, because that's the thing is you have to be pragmatic when it is so easy to wipe out your race.
In either sense. So that kind of leads into that Schism storyline we were talking about, because Wolverine feels like Scott Summers is completely losing his way, and I think there's something to be said when Wolverine goes, "Hey, buddy." Bub. I think you've gone a little too far there.
Yeah. And when tiny furball murderer goes, hey, maybe we should stop with the murder.
Yeah. So at first, what happens is the X-Men relocate to San Francisco. Because they're the most accepting and tolerant city in the world.
Didn't they get an island in San Francisco?
That happened after.
Okay.
So they relocated to San Francisco. They basically became San Francisco superhero team, but also he was still, executing assassins.
Still had a murder squad going out there. Yeah, that's fine.
But then he realizes that the mutants are causing too much of a target on the city. So they relocate to the crashed asteroid M, which is raised from the ocean by Magneto and Namor, who also is a mutant, by the way.
Yeah. No, didn't know that.
Technically. Asteroid M, Asteroid M, if you don't know, is
Magneto's first base of operations.
Yes. It's literally an asteroid in space. Was an asteroid in space.
And then it becomes an island off the coast of California, which they dubbed Utopia and claimed as their own land, which all mutants were welcome to.
It's technically their own sovereign nation?
Yeah, they were.
I dig it.
What led to Schism was at one point there's been no mutants born since
M-Day.
Yeah, since M-Day, since Wanda did her whole magical whammy.
Fucking Wanda.
And suddenly, for the first time, Cerebro detects a new mutant. Yes, you are right to gasp.
Isn't this where like Cable ends up grabbing that baby and becomes like a bodyguard, and then he's chased through like time or something by a weirdly white bishop?
Yes, that is. That is the end of the storyline, basically.
Oh, okay.
The storyline's called Messiah Complex. And, so they detect this mutant that was born, and they go on a mission, of course, to, find the baby and protect it, because it's a sign of hope, the only one that they've had in years. And so, and what they don't know is the mutant hunter Bastion comes back through time, like as kind of like Nimrod, like a super sentinel, and tries to exterminate the baby, of course, because it's saying like that this baby is going to, basically bring mutants back somehow. So what causes Schism is that when it comes to attack Utopia, Scott rallies all the mutants to defend the baby and the island, and including the young students. And Wolverine has a huge issue with him using the children as soldiers. Now, I frankly, I see why he did. He's like, hey, fight because they're trying to kill you. But Wolverine did not care for it. And that led to a schism, of course, between the X-Men, where half the X-Men basically sided with Cyclops and half sided with Wolverine, and the side that sided with Wolverine left Utopia and went to New York to refound a new institute. But yeah, so the baby, which they named Hope, was then protected by Cable because they knew that this baby was going to be, tried to be killed by all the anti-mutant threats in the world.
The baby was kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So Cyclops basically tasked Cable with taking the baby to the future and raising it somewhere safe so that she can grow up and like develop her powers and, come back and save mutant kind. And well, she does. But the whole time,
does she though?
She does basically do something that allows new mutants to be born again. Because she has like kind of undefined crazy powers.
I feel like I don't remember any of this. Like I know I read a lot of this. Like I know she plays a big part of the storyline that's Avengers versus X-Men and the Phoenix Force and all that. And I know we're gonna get to that, but I feel like she's another one of those like Marvel stories where it's just like, yeah, we're gonna say all this is gonna happen, but do nothing with it.
Well, no, she comes back and she does do her thing.
Anyway, going back to Cyclops. So now the X-Men have split up. Mm-hmm. We got two X-Men teams. I think they're called Blue and Gold again.
No, that's later.
Okay, so then we got the New York team, which is led by Wolverine, reformed the Xavier School, and then the San Francisco team, which is
like Cyclops, Emma, Colossus,
Magneto.
Magneto. Basically, kind of the darker X-Men.
Isn't the Wolverine book kind of akin, if you will, to the Wolverine and the X-Men cartoon?
In a sense, yes.
Yeah, cartoon's good. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Well, yeah, Wolverine and the X is probably one of the really good Marvel comic book shows to come out. But too bad they decided, the show we're not gonna renew it. Let's end it after 2 seasons when it gets really good.
Did it even get 2 seasons?
Which cartoon are we talking about?
Wolverine and the X-Men.
Was it 2 seasons?
I don't remember
one season.
I think it was 1 season with like 20 episodes or something like that.
It's a great show. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it.
It's its own thing. It's really neat. And it's vaguely a sequel to X-Men Evolution. I mean, it's not.
Oh, no, you're right. 1 season.
Yeah, it's like 1 season with like 23 episodes, right?
26.
Ooh, I was close.
I looked it up because that show is meriting of a watch if you haven't watched it.
Anyway, I should actually. Sorry, go ahead.
No, funny story. I mean, really, it's a quick aside. One of my D&D characters is named after is named after Apollo here, trying to explain an episode of that show to me.
Wait, which one? Remind me.
We were talking about one of the episodes with Emma Frost, and you went, "Did you see the episode Frost?" And I went, "I guess that's the name of my monk."
Oh, it's good stuff. All right, so let's continue. So
I actually want to clarify something I said because I kind of misspoke a little bit. So they send the baby into the future. The baby wasn't being hunted by Nimrod at the time. Nimrod begins to hunt her when Cable brings her back when she's grown. And the way that she brings mutants back is Emma Frost sees that she is kind of manifesting a part of the Phoenix Force. And the Phoenix is the representation of death and rebirth. So the Phoenix Force empowers Hope to allow her to bring mutants back. And basically, when she does this, Cerebro immediately detects 5 new mutant signals.
Oh, right, that first new class that they get.
And that's what leads to Schism. That whole thing where Hope comes back. And the next storyline after that is basically Avengers versus X-Men.
We didn't talk about oh man, I totally forget the name of the story. Because the being itself pops up in the Avengers, but he looks like a being of pure energy, and he just murders the Avengers to death with a bunch of crazy powers. They come to find out that this being has all of the powers of all the other mutants that they thought had died during
M-Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that was a storyline in New Avengers, I believe. Or like that happened shortly after M-Day, back when Bendis was writing it. I think.
Yeah. I forgot when that was, and I forgot whether or not it was even like relevant to the X-Men.
Well, I mean, it's kind of relevant, but not really because it didn't change anything.
Right.
Like most things.
Right.
like cradling a baby in a blizzard.
Exactly. All right, so go ahead.
Nothing.
Go ahead,
Okay.
continue with what we were going with. I'm sorry.
The next big storyline is Avengers vs. X-Men, which the Phoenix Force is returning to Earth, and they detect this ahead of time. And Cyclops is hype about it because he thinks that it's going to come and Hope is going to be, the host of the Phoenix because he's already seen Hope manifest some of the Phoenix's abilities before. And he thinks that he's going to use Hope basically to jumpstart the mutant population. Like, he's going to have Hope be the Phoenix and have her use her power to accelerate mutant births. Now, the Avengers rightfully fear the Phoenix Force because it has destroyed star systems before. So they are in a pretty big conflict with the X-Men because the X-Men want the Phoenix Force to come and the Avengers do not. Pretty good reasons all around. Save our race, or, hey, that might kill us all. Classic dilemma.
Yeah.
Now, during this, Tony Stark develops a device that he hopes to use to destroy the Phoenix. And it does not work, but it does split the Phoenix Force into 5 different parts.
Oh, yeah. This whole thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
And
I have no idea what we're all talking about.
And so the Phoenix Force then takes 5 different hosts. It takes Cyclops, Emma Frost, Colossus, Namor, and Magic, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, that they all join a pop band, kind of like S Club 7, and they call themselves the Phoenix 5.
They did, and they, with this power, try and prove that, hey, we're not a threat, and we're going to help out. Like, they basically go throughout the world and help out, growing food in deserts and solving disasters. They're actually doing a pretty good thing.
And
but
then
of course,
Namor fights Wakanda.
Yeah,
the entirety.
Yeah, well,
That sounds like he should lose.
Well,
He's got
Namor
the Phoenix,
Phoenix Force.
Remember the Phoenix? Okay, so one of the things you got to remember is the Phoenix Force, when it's technically under the control of somebody, it just grants you, it multiplies your powers. I don't even know how many fold. It is ridiculous. It's a Deus Ex Machina, pretty much, that you could just be like, oh yeah, I'm this powerful. I could do this. I could do that. Like like for the mutants, for example, for like Colossus. Colossus was all Colossus is known for is for being able to turn to metal
and being really strong.
But
and had a ridiculous accent.
Exactly.
But yes.
But his powers get like multiplied. He's able to do like ridiculous things. I don't remember any specific instances of what he did because I feel like he's the one who had the powers the least like amount of time, because eventually they all lose the powers.
Right.
One at a time.
Yeah.
And each time one of them loses it, the remaining
Get stronger.
Yes. So and the Avengers, even while the X-Men are doing good in the world, are afraid because they're like, this isn't going to last. The Phoenix Force corrupts people. Like it manipulates them emotionally. And so they start going after the Phoenix Five because, that's what they're doing. They're the Avengers. They're trying to save the world. And the X-Men are just trying to save mutant kind. So basically, one at a time, the Phoenix Five kind of get taken down. The others get stronger until it's down to just Emma and Cyclops. And then Cyclops takes the power from Emma and betrays her, which causes them to have a huge falling out. And he becomes the sole host of the Phoenix. Xavier at this point comes back and tries to stop him. And Cyclops, being manipulated by the Phoenix Force...
That's a cop-out. Go ahead.
No, it is and it isn't. But it is also. You're right. Cyclops then kills Professor X.
Yo, he freaking brains him.
Yeah.
Full frontal eye punch to the fucking head.
Yep.
Like point blank.
For the sake of time, I'm not going to ask how somebody's able to defeat a telepath that's able to put thoughts in people's minds.
Phoenix Force.
Well, the one the Phoenix Force said, I believe, isn't Xavier depowered at this point?
I believe he was.
So he's just an old dude in a wheelchair.
No, he's not even in a wheelchair because apparently, if I remember correctly, they had said that part of his power is what caused his paralysis.
Wait.
I
Hold
feel
on.
like that's something that was said at one point in the comics. So when he comes back, he can walk.
Wait. So if that's true, then why didn't the Red Skull, when he was able to, what's it called? The Red Skull had
during
Charles,
Axis,
had Charles Xavier's brain, and then was able to dissect it and find like the part of his brain that had like the mutant gene, I guess, in it, and then he implanted his telepathy into himself. So before he had used the cosmic cube to then like create the whole Hydra Cap thing, why wasn't he immediately crippled?
I don't know what to tell you. It's Marvel.
Honestly,
regardless,
this is also like the third time Professor X has regained the ability to walk and then later lost it again.
Yeah, exactly. In either case, so
how does banging your head allow you to not turn off your concussion powers?
Exactly. In all seriousness, though, so he brains him, like completely, just obliterates him with his
fist.
No, with his eye beams.
His eye fists.
Yeah.
His eye fists?
Yeah, he was eye punching him.
He eye punched him with Phoenix Force powers. That's how ridiculous that was.
He eye punched him with Firebirds. Continue.
That's my favorite Apple product.
Yes. So he kills him. Anyway, Doug, continue. He kills his mentor.
His dad figure.
His father figure, exactly.
Okay, so
why did he kill his dad?
All right, so after killing Xavier, the Avengers and the X-Men fight again, but Cyclops is weakened, and Hope absorbs the Phoenix Force into herself. Basically, then her and the Scarlet Witch together undo the things that the Phoenix had done, even the good ones for some reason, and then they disperse the Phoenix Force throughout the world, which basically they succeeded in their goal. It jumpstarts mutant births around the world, creating thousands of new mutants. Cyclops, at this point, has to pay for his crimes in literal ways and also psychologically, because he was manipulated by the Phoenix. But the thing is while he was manipulated by it, the emotions were still his. So it's something he wouldn't have done if the Phoenix wasn't possessing him, but he wanted to do it when the Phoenix possessed himself. So he is riddled with guilt at this point, and he allows the Avengers to just take him in and put him in jail.
I don't buy it. I still say Cyclops friggin' murdered Xavier.
No, he did, and Cyclops feels that he did. He feels responsible for it.
I mean, he is. He totally murdered that old man.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, "Hey, Dad, you can walk again. Guess what? Now you're dead."
All right. Cyclops leads a mutant uprising, gets Phoenix Force. I punches the shit out of Charles Xavier. What's left?
My mind.
Not terribly much. We're going to the last the last story basically is X-Men versus Inhumans.
I was hoping you were going to say Street Fighter.
Yeah.
X-Men versus Street Fighter, yeah.
So come on, Doug, let's go crazy.
Okay.
Choose your alter ego.
So Magneto breaks Cyclops out of jail because, Magneto thinks he's the man for the
As
job.
you do.
Yeah, he thinks Cyclops is the man for the job, of leading the mutant race still. And he gets back together with the X-Men, and at least the ones that were still loyal to him, and they try and start a mutant revolution
from Canada, by the way.
Right.
Oh, the Canadian mutant revolution of 2011. That happened.
Yes.
Right. So, okay, now here's what basically happens. Now, at the same time in the Marvel Universe, the Inhumans, who were kind of going extinct themselves, use the last of their Terrigenesis crystals, which is how they gain their powers, to create these two huge clouds of Terrigen mist that spread throughout the globe. Now, what they didn't realize is that this cloud is toxic to mutants and basically gives them a disease that kills them almost immediately.
And pox.
Wait. So what you're telling me is that there was some kind of embargo from Disney that was we don't own the mutant characters, so Marvel Comics fucking killed them.
That's actually an interesting theory. That might be true.
No, it is. It is. It actually is
true. Yeah.
Wouldn't shock me.
All right, continue. So
yeah, they were we don't own the rights to the movies. Kill them.
All right. So what happens in this storyline is they go to investigate this on Muir Island, which is a famous X-Men location near Scotland.
It's like Disneyland for mutants.
And they get there and they find a whole bunch of dead Jamie Madroxes, the Multiple Man, who had been using his powers to study the disease by, having as many people work on it as possible, all of them himself. And so they go to investigate this, and Cyclops contracts the disease immediately upon arriving and dies in the lab. But Emma, kind of broken up by this and not allowing a man she idolized to die like this, convinces everybody that he's still alive by psychically projecting him at all times. And she then tries to get revenge on the Inhumans by instigating a war with them. She knows that she can't keep this up forever and the Cyclops has to die, but she wants his death to mean something. So she uses the psychic projection of Cyclops to instigate a one-on-one fight with Black Bolt, and Black Bolt then, quote-unquote, kills him. And that is what really jumpstarts the war between the Inhumans and the mutants. But Cyclops has actually been dead all along.
Oh, so it was like a reverse Vince McMahon reveal.
I was
dead, Austin. I was dead all along.
Now, we are running kind of late, so I want to basically now take all that I have talked about, and I want to tell you why I think all of these events make Scott the most developed character.
Yeah,
you know what? Let's do something.
I'm gonna have to
let's do something before you do that.
Ooh.
Let's give the audience a minute to catch a breather, and then we'll come right back, and we'll get into this last part.
Yeah, I like it.
It was also it was also
Broccoli! Where
You did
Okay, so folks, let me break down Scott Summers as a person, like psychologically. This is a young boy who lost his parents early on, was separated from his brother, and then his mutant powers develop, and he is a threat to everything that he even looks at. Like, he's scared of himself, he's scared for everybody else, he's depressed, and he has no purpose. He thinks he's an abomination. He's then recruited by Xavier, who essentially indoctrinates him. He gives Scott a purpose, makes him think that he's something special, and then kind of uses him as his own, personal soldier to fight his crusade for mutant rights. Now, at the time, Cyclops is 15. He looks up to Xavier as a substitute father figure. And during his tenure with the original X-Men, he develops what 15-year-olds do, a highly idealized romantic crush on Jean Grey. He's the first girl that he ever loves, and he puts her on a pedestal. Now, the thing is putting a person on a pedestal is not healthy. It's something that makes them, it dehumanizes them in a way. It makes them an image instead of a person. So losing her the first time was tragic enough, and as you can see, he rebounded with a woman that looked just like her, trying to recapture the love of his life as he saw it. Now, that didn't work out, clearly. But when his love comes back, he does a shitty thing and he abandons his wife and son, but he has to be with this woman that he sees as the perfect woman, the only thing he can ever love. They marry, and, they're happy for a time. And then he becomes Apocalypse. This changes his entire mentality. He doesn't trust his own thoughts or feelings anymore. He questions what he's doing. This is the first time he actually really reflects on his life and what he's doing, and if he has been doing it of his own volition or just following another man's dream. He also no longer really sees himself as worthy of Jean, because again, he's placed Jean on a pedestal, and he feels dirty and corrupted, which will happen when, again, you're taken over by a 2,000-year-old evil mutant. In his feelings that he can't be the man that Jean needs, even though he could be if he could actually see Jean as a person and not this idealized vision of what love should be. Because Jean has plenty of flaws. I mean, she's literally destroyed solar systems. Killed billions of people, under the control of the Phoenix, of course, but so this causes the drift between them. He feels he is not worthy of Jean, and this is what leads to the psychic affair with Emma Frost. Now, the thing is that when he is fully in a relationship with Emma Frost, that's actually the healthiest relationship he's probably ever had in his entire life. He makes her a better person, and he sees her as her, not some image he's conceived in his head of what love is. He sees Emma, and so he is like I said, he's the healthiest relationship he's ever been. And then M-Day happens, and he is suddenly forced to deal with the reality of saving mutant kind, and not an idealized vision of how things should be done, like the kind Xavier had. He had to actually make real choices. He became darker and more pragmatic at the time, but he was fighting for his race's survival and his race's rights. He made a lot of questionable decisions, as a lot of historical figures have done in the name of equality and saving their race. And he fights the good fight for what he truly believes in. He's his own man for the first time in his life. And this leads into Hope being born and him seeing a possible way to actually make a reality of saving his race. Because the thing is up until then, he'd been just protecting the survivors of his race, but they were slated for extinction. There was not enough mutants to propagate the race, and no new mutants were being born. So, seeing a way to actually save his race, he embraces it dogmatically. He finds Hope. He plans all of this, and then uses the Phoenix Force to, possibly foolishly, but he accepts the Phoenix Force as a necessary evil to save his kind. And I don't think he was wrong, frankly. He made, like I said, a lot of morally questionable choices, like a lot of people have in the past, to fight a righteous cause. And I just think that everything is so logically consistent with how the character works. His upbringing, his indoctrination, his idealization of love and romance. He was living in a fantasy world, and basically, until having to deal with the scars of hosting Apocalypse, he had never really looked at life and tried to live it as his own person. And when he finally started to, he took control and he became the man. He became the most important mutant in the universe. I think it's a great story. It's a great tale, and I've always used the hashtag Cyclops was right. And it was a shame when he died, in my opinion, but he is finally back.
Yeah, but didn't they undo everything you just said with one issue when they brought him back?
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like holding a baby in a blizzard.
Yeah. Nice callback there. Yeah. So basically, what happens is he comes back. He is saved by Cable.
It's the
using
younger
a tiny,
Cable, isn't it?
Yeah, because it'll weird, complicated story. But the younger Cable kills his older self for not doing a good enough job of being Cable.
Love it. Love it.
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah. So he brings back Cyclops using a fraction of the Phoenix Force, just a tiny fraction.
A little bit.
And Cyclops is back. But the thing is what we didn't mention was when Scott was going down this dark path, Hank McCoy, the Beast, brought back the 5 original X-Men, including a younger version of himself, to the present to basically try and show everybody how they'd lost their way. And young Cyclops sees militant, pragmatic, Death Squad hiring old Cyclops, and it's like, oh, fuck this. I'm never going to be this guy. I'm a hero. And the thing is they got sent back to the past pretty much right before Cyclops is rebirthed. But when Cyclops is resurrected, he has his own memories and the memories of that other Cyclops. And he decides that he's been doing this wrong by putting his own race over life in general, and that he is going to take a new path and be a true hero again, which really, in my opinion, cheapens the entire legacy of the character. But what you going to do?
Or alternatively,
they needed to get back to the status quo.
Hold on. I will make this argument before we close up for the night. Alternatively, You could say that this is really the first time that Cyclops is taking his own path. Because every other time that Cyclops has been on any type of path, it's been someone else's decision. It's been through someone else's... Cyclops is a victim of circumstance. Everything that he has done
I was gonna say,
has been because of the circumstances of where he's been. The very fact that he was picked up by Xavier was because his parents died. Because he was a mutant. The very reason he became Cyclops was because of his mutant powers. He has never made an actual decision for himself in his life. The only time that he's made a decision for himself were when he chose to maybe sleep with Emma. Psychically sleep with her, but even then, like, that was because of what happened with Apocalypse.
But isn't that kind of ironic that he's the leader?
Yeah.
And he's not making
any decisions.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you actually have a good point, because I mean, I was saying that he was making the decisions, but he wasn't making the decisions for himself. He was making the decisions that he had to as the leader, because the situations that were thrust upon him. So you actually just brought an interesting perspective to it that I hadn't considered.
To be quite honest with you, I'm still think Cyclops is boring as fuck. However, maybe there's an opportunity now for him to be more interesting, because now he's no longer the same Cyclops who's going to make the same dumbass decisions that he made before.
Are you telling me that Cyclops is no longer inside the box?
Maybe now Cyclops might not be Cheerios. Maybe this time he might be cornflakes.
Whoa.
Cyclops is Tony the Tiger.
I like how you still couldn't make him a good cereal.
Fuck you, I like Frosted Flakes.
Right?
But he said cornflakes. That's without the frosting.
What's wrong with cornflakes, man?
I'm confused.
No sugar.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Like I said, at the end of the day, I think that's probably the most important part about comic books and one of the things I got to say to Doug is that's a really great take and an interesting take on the character. And something that a lot of people probably wouldn't take the time to actually look at. And I for one, personally love what you did in trying to get us to think of Cyclops in a new way. I still think he's a fucking dumbass. But you know what? That's
he sounds like he's kind of a leader that's not really making decisions for himself in a sense that. Like he's just kind of a tool to Xavier. I mean, yeah, it kind of helps reinforce how they kind of portray him in a cartoon, where he's just kind of like this tool.
Yeah.
But like the whole him and after the what did you say? A House of M?
Yeah. M Day was the one that depowered all the mutants.
That's it. Yeah. After M Day, he sounds like he really comes into his own.
He does in a sense, but Apollo was right in the sense that he comes into his own because a situation was thrust upon him. He had to take that responsibility. He didn't have a choice in the matter, really.
Right. But my argument here, though, is that if M-Day never happened, you wouldn't be sitting here making this argument about Cyclops. Instead, the argument would be is that he's just a sad guy of circumstance.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I agree. M-Day is his defining character moment, in my opinion.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Summer juice. Find it at your local stores.
Yeah. So love him or hate him, but don't not care. Love him or hate him. Pick a side.
If you have questions, a topic you would like us to cover, or wish to simply tell us all the facts we screwed up, feel free to contact us at laymansguidetothemultiverse@gmail.com. Also, feel free to visit our website at laymansguidetothemultiverse.com. Our intro music is Dance Rocket, off the album Descent of the Goober Monster by Jesse Spillane, and is licensed under an Attribution 4.0 International CC by 4.0 license off http://freemusicarchive.org. Our intermission music is Crinoline Dreams by Kevin MacLeod off incomptech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license, http://creativecommons.org/license/by/3.0/ and our outro music is Miami Nights Extended Theme, also by Kevin MacLeod, off Incomtech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license, http creativecommons.org/creativecommons.org/license/by/3.0/